streaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to ask for a moment of silence for all those who have answered both their call to duty and their final call to final watch. Please be silent. Thank you. You may be seated. To my fundraiser event called Coming Home, The Long Journey from Duty Call to Final Watch. My goal was to get Chris up here right about 7:01. I'll have to look for some cues to make sure that he's getting wrapped up over there, so I might have to dance on the head of the pin up here for you and do backflips or something if I have to, but I have a little bit of a program I'll continue with, and then we'll wait until right till I know he's ready to go before I fire off the last video that will present him. But tonight, we're here for a lot of reasons, but we're here as a fundraiser for these two memorials right here. If anybody can make it Saturday morning, that's on the 11th, we're going to be dedicating the one down in Williamsport for the World War II veterans at the Post 202 American Legion. That'll be that's already in place and ready to be dedicated. The hard work is still undergoing for the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and Jim Klein, wherever he's at here, and his wife's here too. They're rapidly trying to pull funds in, and I can tell you earlier today, before noon, I had over $4,000 with my $1,000 match from Modern Woodman to go towards each one of these memorials. So it's a round of applause. The reason I'm doing this tonight is I trained for 10 years with this fellow right here. An extremely dangerous band of peace was a tattoo on his forearm and all our karate belts in the karate school I studied with him on. He's from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Harvey's Lake, Pennsylvania, to be specific. made me run that for my black belt test, 12.5 miles, I run that thing one Sunday morning many years ago. But he's passed away in 2010, and it was kind of sudden. I never got the chance to say goodbye, thank you. So maybe tonight is a lot of my being able to say goodbye to him with what I'm doing tonight here. But he wrote this book called Doc Zoo. And Doc Zoo, he was a medic. He was a Green Beret corpsman, 3 tours of Vietnam. And he drove those Vietnamese crazy, I guess, making some bird calls and hillbilly sounds over there in the jungle. It scared the dickens out of those folks. They didn't know what was going on. They nicknamed him Doc Zoo. He wrote a book about it, and boy, it was a rather blunt book. But he's part of the 173rd Airborne Rangers, the Sky Soldiers they were called, for all the jumps they did out of the airplanes into enemy territory over the years. But Robert W. Costigan, I never met him until 1987, but he became the epitome of what I felt was my soldier. I can only imagine what the family and friends that sent him off to war went through while he was away and lived through once he came back. I saw this 240-pound, 6-foot-plus soldier hit the deck of my small Chevrolet Spectrum. If you all know what a Chevrolet Spectrum is, it's pretty tiny. We're in Orlando, Florida. We're going to Orlando, Florida from Fort Lauderdale. And bolt lightning hit right off the freeway, and let me tell you what, he hit the deck. It was then I realized that every hero, they have their fears. And that confronting those fears is how they carried on with their life. And even those around them didn't really understand what it was all about. That's how they continued on. I have a song now called My Soldiers, a video by another singer who I've brought in a couple times over the years. She's a member of Modern Woodman from Bloomfield, Missouri. I think you'll enjoy this song. So reminisce as you think about your soldier.
But I never let him see me cry. It's been a month of Sundays and
hand for all the wives, all the mothers. And I know as fathers probably, lump up in the throat a little bit too when we think about things like that too. But thank you for the wives and mothers that send their sons and daughters off to protect our great country. I'd like to ask upon you folks, if you're ever able, if you go to Operation Welcome Home Maryland, they have a website. They meet soldiers coming back at BWI Airport at the International Pier. I go down there a couple times a year, take them down supplies, water, snacks, and everything, and they meet those soldiers coming off the airplane from overseas. I've pushed carts with dogs in them out to the potty break. I've pushed, 3 or 4 carts they're trying to push. One person's trying to push and pull, and I'll take and push one out to them, trying to get them to go to their domestic flight. Sometimes they're sitting there for hours waiting for the next flight. So they get a bag, they get food, they get snacks, they get a card saying thank you for your service. It's personalized to each one of them. So if you have the opportunity, look up their website. They'll tell you when the flights are coming in. One day last week, they had 3 flights came in all in one night. So they were looking for volunteers left and right to come help them. So if you have the opportunity, do that, because every soldier needs to be welcomed back properly, whether it was days ago, weeks ago, years ago, or even decades ago. Every soldier deserves to be welcomed home, back in the loving arms of the family that sent them off to war, even though the person that came back may have changed a little since they left. This event tonight is called Coming Home, the Long Journey from Duty Call to Final Watch. I have a video that I hope you'll enjoy. It's called Coming Home. It's by a group called The Soldiers. There's 5 of them. 3 are British soldiers, 2 are American soldiers, and it's been overlaid with some pictures on top of the music to kind of give you some reminiscence of local folks as this thing plays forward. So as it plays through, let your mind wander and your heart drift.
Every soldier who gave their life lives forever. Every soldier who fought the fight echoes in our minds. All the wounded and the brave, the ones God couldn't save. We salute your courage. Coming home with pride. Coming home with heads held high. Coming home from lands afar. Coming home to your arms. All the heroes who defend our flag will live on forever. All the heroes, both young and old, that soldier on to unknowns. From across the changing world, we live in the hope that you come back home. Coming home.
Chris the whole time. We're just bring the flag back to stage. We're just going to set right here, gentlemen. Right. Right there. All right, very good. Thank you. All right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present to you Chris Tonto Pronto here in just a minute. We have a small clip to watch before him. Chris Pronto, a son, a father, a brother in arms, a true American hero who had many reasons to want to come home that night in Benghazi, Libya, 5 years ago. And here comes his featurette.
Libyan visa. Official.
Pull over for inspection.
How willing are you to die for your country? I'm ready to go right here, right now.
The GRS stands for Global Response Staff. These are individuals that all have special services backgrounds.
State's under attack. Let's go, man. State's under attack.
So this was an extraordinary GRS team.
None of you have to go. We are the only help they have.
You've got ex-Navy SEALs, Marines, and you've got an Army Ranger in Tonto.
My name is Christian Paranto, and my call sign is Tonto.
Tonto is one of a kind. He's a guy who is ready for anything. You know, he signs his emails, RLTW, Rangers lead the way. And that's how Tonto lives his life.
Okay, what do you think? The actor that's playing me is Pablo Schreiber. Whenever he had a question, he could always call me. I taught him the Ranger Creed, he learned that. And he was willing to learn what I was willing to help him through.
I hate to be a wet blanket, girls, but 5 dudes with M4s is not enough. Perimeter's soft, and this whole compound's a sniper's paradise.
We had a lot of conversations about what his service was like, and then what the experiences of that night, and the effect they had on him, and the effect that they still have on him today.
We're losing the initiative, Chief. Come on.
If you do not get here soon, we're all gonna die.
People have asked, is it surreal seeing him playing me? And no, not really. I've been able to do a lot of things in my life. Been very lucky. And this is just a new experience. It's just another chapter.
As long as I'm doing the right thing, God will take care of me.
13 Hours, a Michael Bay film. Rated R.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chris Pronto.
I appreciate it. Can y'all hear me pretty good? I mumble a lot, so so if you can't, just raise your hand or say speak clearly. It's no big deal to me. Hey, I know you guys waited a little bit longer because I had to sign some books, and as you see when I do sign books later, I take my time with everybody. I watched this little thing with a golfer. His name was Arnold Palmer. You don't know who he is? But I watched this little YouTube thing when I was starting to learn, because I guess there's a way to sign books and all this public figure crap that I do now. But I was watching him, and he was sitting with this young golfer, and he said to this young golfer that was right next to him, because this young golfer was just signing, getting him out of the way, signing, getting him. He goes, hey, these people wait hours to get a book signed. So you need to take your time with everyone. So that's what I do. So I'm sorry, because I do try to take my time with everyone. They don't make guys like that anymore. That's too bad. Well, anyway, let's get into what's going on. Benghazi, you guys came here to hear about it, so I'm going to tell you about it. I'm not a podium speaker. I was an officer in the military. I was enlisted too. Forgive me, enlisted guys. I got stupid and became an officer. I don't know what I was thinking. But I remember how many PowerPoints presentations. I was up here, death by PowerPoint, where I put people to sleep because I use this podium. I don't do that. I get up here and I tell a story. Like we're sitting around the fire talking. So keep track of me as I'm moving. I'm moving around a lot. And I say things off the cuff. So I may say something that offends you. I'm not politically correct. I don't care. If I offend you, I offend you. That was we go, just again, what this is about. Benghazi was politicized enough. It doesn't need to be anymore. This is a story about honor and heroism and courage. That why we're here. Because veterans that serve, veterans that sacrifice, selfless service. John 15:13. You all know what that is, and I'll tell you if you don't. I'll tell you why I'm talking. But that's what we're here to do. Not just to honor veterans, but to give you a little bit of perspective of what took place and what some of the other guys went through, and what I went through. Now, some of you veterans have a hard time with this because I do get a little graphic. I don't hold anything back. And you need to get up to take a break. I understand, believe me, I do. You're not bothering me at all. Okay? You need to get up and use the bathroom, it doesn't bother me. I know people say, Benghazi's political. Benghazi's personal to me. Well, we get to Tripoli, 2 hours, take a shower, get on a plane, C-17 flown by Eric Stahl. The load master was awesome. She already had the coffins with the flags on them. She let us load them on the plane, which was against rules, but she let us do it. It was fantastic. And we flew right next to our brothers and Ambassador Stevens. We flew with them and Sean Smith back to Germany. We showed up in Germany, USO, fantastic organization. I didn't have anything at all. And they were already there. Ladies there, hey, what'd you lose? What'd you lose? Well, I lost my tennis shoes, my running shorts, T-shirts. And she's just taking a list of stuff down. Awesome. And luckily we're at an Air Force base, not a Marine or Army base. So, they got Saks Fifth Ave and a Macy's there and Neiman Marcus. So I got better stuff coming out than I did going in. Awesome. But they did take awesome care of us. And I went to bed. And then I woke up the next day, I turned the TV on, and I see somebody talking about a video in a protest. I turn the TV off and I go back to bed. Now, that's it for Benghazi. Now, guys, being this week for Veterans Day at the end of the week, I want to say that even after all that, that's why I'm proud to be a veteran. I'm proud of this country. Even after I felt like the government kind of turned on us, none of us sat there and pissed and moaned about it. None of us went and did the book or anything or the movie. We even had that in mind. All of us redeployed. Again, this is a great country. This is the best country in the world. And I went to Yemen. Jack went to Yemen. So did Boone. Oz couldn't because he was severely injured. Tig went to Lebanon. And we kept deploying. No complaints. Never complained. So in closing, what I want to say is, even after all this, guys, I still think this is the most wonderful place to ever be. And you should think that too. You veterans in the audience too, thank you. Because without you guys that came before me, I wouldn't get to live in this wonderful, wonderful place. And you need to remember that. And then finally, because this is kind of the theme of the event, but I always want to say this, and I forgot to say it at the beginning, you Vietnam vets, because you didn't get it, welcome home. You have no idea what